Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Thursday, December 21st, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin with last night's Holiday Bash edition of AEW Dynamite broadcast live on TBS from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The episode featured the final set of round-robin matches for the Gold League portion of the Continental Classic. Both Jay White and Swerve Strickland were victorious in Gold League matches, giving them 12 points apiece and tying them with Jon Moxley for the top spot in the Gold League. The three men are scheduled to face off on next week's Dynamite in a three-way match for the Gold League Championship.
The Gold League semifinal, 1 week from tonight's Dynamite as we return to Orlando Edition Financial Arena, AEWTIX.com. Moxley, Swerve, Jay White, who will advance to World's End as you see Moxley, that knee potentially compromised. This could be disastrous for Moxley.
How badly injured is Jon Moxley? What kind of shape's he going to be in a week? Jay White seems to be refreshed and ready to go, and certainly Swerve has been as hot as anybody in AEW.
Well, to your point, though, JR, I'll tell you what, man, that Mox is hurting. This knee is bad.
That knee is bad. Oh, wait, Jay White! Jay White just attacked Moxley. He clipped him on the back of the knee.
White pinned Moxley in the main event to earn his spot, while Swerve Strickland defeated Roosh in the opening match. In the evening's other Gold League match, Mark Briscoe got his only 3 points of the tournament with a win over Jay Lethal, who had also gone pointless in Gold League matches. During an in-ring promo segment, AEW World Champion MJF and Samoa Joe were confronted by the Masked Devil and his henchmen. Joe accepted a challenge from the Devil to a Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match against him and MJF for next week. In other results, Roderick Strong defeated Commander and Riho pinned Saraya. The episode featured the return to commentary of Jim Ross, who had been off television since early November due to his ongoing battle with skin cancer. In ratings news, last Tuesday's episode of NXT drew a total audience of 641,000 to USA Network, according to WrestleNomics. That's down 5% from last week. In the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic, the rating was a .17, also down slightly from last week's .18. And in injury news, Rey Fenix has been pulled from an independent appearance due to injury. The AEW wrestler had been scheduled to face Leo Rush on January 5th in Portland, Oregon for Prestige Wrestling, but according to a tweet from Prestige yesterday, he will be replaced by Samurai Del Sol. Fenix has not wrestled since losing the international title to Orange Cassidy in under 5 minutes on the October 10th edition of Dynamite. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.